Tony D and Little Joan, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Fired on Mars, starring Luke Wilson, in an animated series about a guy who moves to Mars and then loses his job. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 11, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So Jeff moves to Mars to become a graphic designer, and then they fire him, and he has nothing to do. This is from HBO Max, otherwise known as Max now. It's called Max. Why didn't they correct that? It's your company. Anyhow, it's about living in the corporate world and how lame it is, and Jeff kind of spirals down, tries to get some other work, learns a new language, finds an underground resistance, an old Mars, and I don't know, meets a bunch of new people. It's all about being in a corporate setting and getting totally screwed over, which I think a lot of people can relate to. I'm not sure what this is about, but it's got like a sci-fi angle, but kind of a mundane sci-fi angle. I could hear the pitch of this. This is Office Space meets like something with Mars, something with space, like a sci-fi version of Office Space. I'll say. Fired on Mars, starting 420, dude. So yeah, from Max. It's called Max now. Why don't you correct that? There's an old library he discovers. So could be cool because it takes place in the future, and then like Mars is already established, and I don't know who this dude is. I guess that's his friend. Mars Severi. Yeah, it's very, very Office Spacey. And it's about getting screwed over by the company, I guess. Here he is in his apartment, his pod. Living in the pod, living the dream. And trying to pull his life back together, I guess. So, yeah. He loved his job, and then he gets fired. So, yeah, I could see this being interesting. I mean, you know, I think the sci-fi element will eventually take it over, because that's kind of the only way to go with it. But the animation looks fine. The characters look okay. It's starting low, right? It's starting with this guy, Jeff Cooper, a very no-name guy who's a graphic designer on Mars, and how he has to pull his life together. So, yeah, and there's some romance too, I guess. I'd be totally down for this. It's on Max, so I'll probably check it out, at least the first episode, because I do like the sci-fi element of it, the not too distant future. I'm not sure who this dude is. So, yeah. I think it'll be okay. It gives me like kind of a King of the Hill vibe in terms of the humor. It's not going to be like rip-roaring hilarious. It'll just be kind of funny in that sort of corporate way. I like the very subtle sci-fi element. So like this thing, the the flying iPad kind of thing. Because it's like, we kind of already have it, but not the flying part. Here you've got, a computer screen, which looks very familiar. But at the same time, it's even got the Photoshop tools. At the same time, it's, in the distant future. So I wonder why his graphic design work is so cheesy. And you'd think, the one thing I'll say is, AI's kind of taken over this kind of mundane job of graphic design. You think they would have thought of that when they were writing this show, but maybe not. And I'm wondering if it's going to be a send-up of moving to Mars and Elon Musk. So, maybe. So, yeah, I'll check it out. I think it'll be okay. I think it'll at least be kind of watchable. And Luke Wilson's kind of funny. The character kind of looks like him, like a chubbier version. Here's some kind of crazy cult probably of people who also got fired. I'm going to guess this is his more successful brother back on Earth. Um, so yeah, it's called Fired on Mars. I think it's a solid premise. I'm wondering who wrote it. Let's see if there's any info here. The New Corporate Landscape. That's about all they say about it. It feels like something Mike Judge could have pitched, right? Let's see if it is. Fired on Mars. I'm wondering who developed this thing. Fired on Mars. TV series. Creators Nat Sherman and Nick Vokey. Nat Sherman. What did he create? This is 40 and Bridesmaid. I mean, oh, he was on the crew of that. He was the director of Fired on Mars, a short. Oh, okay. So this is based on a short. So they're giving it looks like they're giving new guys a chance here, and so did Nick Vokey. He worked on this as well. That's their only credit. So big risk, HBO Max, but I kind of am down for it. Maybe these guys are talented. I say give them a chance. Fired on Mars, 420. Get stoned and watch it. And that's it for me, Tony D, and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more based takes. Sorry I'm late on the videos today. I just got caught up and stuff. Welcome to Monday. We'll see you in the next one.